Hi, my name is Chris and welcome to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk about the Dark Souls trilogy. So if you're new to Dark Souls, need a reminder, or just looking to get a bit better, this video will probably help. Also, this video will be more focused on Dark Souls 3 than any of the other games. However, a lot of what I will say still applies across the trilogy. Also, there will not be any spoilers in this video. So when people hear about Dark Souls, it's pretty much always associated with being very difficult. And this is because, well, it is. But what a lot of people won't tell you about the game if you're new is that it's a fun type of difficult. And of course, fun is relative, but let me explain. So why is Dark Souls so difficult? Well, you will notice when you start any of the games that the enemies seem to do a lot of damage. When you die, you drop all of your currency and you will have to restart at a bonfire, which you could basically just think of as a checkpoint. And every time you return to these bonfires, all of the enemies in that area that aren't bosses or NPCs respawn. On top of all of that, it won't tell you where to go. So being discouraged to play any of these games is completely understandable. But for a lot of people, that's where the fun lies. This game lets you learn, and that's kind of what it's about. When you fight an enemy or a boss for the first time, it will seem impossible. You're trying your best, but the enemy just won't die. 5 deaths later by that same enemy, and you know every one of his attacks and exactly how to avoid them. 10 deaths later by that same enemy or boss, and you can seemingly almost have control of the fight because you have the knowledge over them. And when you finally beat them, you feel like you've really accomplished something. I like to think of it as this. There's no good or bad way to overcoming the obstacles in Dark Souls, it's always your way. You beat the boss with what you have, not with what the game gave you, and that's one of the main things that makes Dark Souls so different. And on top of that feeling of accomplishment, the game rewards you very heavily, and of course sends you on your way to your next challenge. Now, when you play Dark Souls, it can be very frustrating. If you find yourself wanting to chuck your headset across the room, it's probably time to take a break. Pacing your play sessions is something that really helped me personally make it through all of the game. And that brings me to another point I want to make. Dying. Dying is something that's going to happen to you like a lot, so you should welcome it and plan on it. If you know an enemy is probably going to kill you, instead of just taking his hits so you can respawn and have full health, try doing something different. Use your final moments alive with this enemy to do a bit of research, and when you inevitably die again, you are that much more prepared. The next thing I want to talk about is exploring. You're going to want to search every nook and cranny of these games, because chances are there's probably something there. There are some very good weapons you can find just because you went left instead of forward. Probably one of the most useful secrets is shortcuts to bosses, so you should definitely take time to poke your nose around and look for hidden doors or lifts. Speaking of taking your time, you should do just that, take your time. If you feel like you're stuck on a section of the game, take it easy and just go back more prepared. Go to an earlier area of the game and kill all of the enemies over and over again until you have enough souls to level up you or your weapon. But if you're still stuck on a boss, you're probably still going to want some help. So use an ember and look on the ground in front of the boss's entrance for glowing white marks. These are people that are willing to help you fight a boss and can really make a difference on how long you spend on a single boss. And finally, you definitely want to manage your stamina. Try dropping your shield while not in danger, and this will provide a stamina boost. As you'll notice, your stamina will go up much faster if you don't have your shield up. So manage this in the middle of fights so you can roll and dodge more efficiently. And of course with Dark Souls, make sure you have fun and play your way. You could show some of your friends this video to make them a bit more encouraged to jump into the world of Dark Souls. And if you'd like another tip video for Dark Souls or any other game, just let me know in the comments. I think that'll be all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and praise the sun.